gas or electric. I mean, just give me a cooker or a stove and I'll just do my thing on it. Do you know what I mean? I'll cook it up. But they have their pros, they have their cons. Do you know what I mean? With gas, they're fantastic, they're quick. You know, you can get the heat on straight away, and they're fantastic to cooking steaks on and, whatever. The only downside, I guess, is breathing in the gas, the CO2 emissions. It's not good for your health. The other downside is that with stews and things, they can sometimes catch on the pan a lot worse than usually electrics. Electrics I find are good for slow cooking, for steady cooking, simmering, for like soups and things. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't do that on gas. I'm just saying it's easier. Does that make sense to you? So, I actually prefer, just give me a stove and I'll do my magic on there. Do you know what I mean? So I honestly don't mind working with whichever. I guess I've got used to using electric for quite some time now. So I guess if I went back to gas, I'll probably burn a few things. But, yeah, I mean, you don't forget, really. I've been using gas for the entire lifetime of my kind of chefing career. So I've used gas quite a lot. So I'm pretty used to either one. You basically whisk the egg whites like with a souffle. Mix the yolk, then put into a pan instead of sprinkle with some cheese or whatever stuff you want in it. Cook to the pan for a while. Cover with another pan to get warm through. Fold it and bam, fluffy souffle-ish omelette. Oh, okay, I'm with you now, Pitsy. Yeah, I've done something like that. What we used to do, right? Let me just show you very quickly. We used to get like a non-stick pan, right? And we used to fill our omelette up, right? And we used to have like all sorts of things in there, so we'd do it in the morning. And then we'd have the grill on like really hot. And we used to whisk it up with a little bit of milk and that. And we used to fill it up to there, so about... I'd say about a good inch thick, right? And we used to put it under the grill then. Not too close, otherwise it would have burnt. But by the end of it, it would actually come up to here. So I kind of know what you mean by like an omelette souffle. So yeah, I've kind of done the same thing before. And they really fluff up. But they're quite nice. Very tasty. So yeah, I have actually done that, Pitsy. I wasn't too sure. I was thinking of like just a plain souffle without any flavour. So I kind of got a little bit confused with that. But I know what you're on about now. Will you fry the chips or do them in the oven? I'm going to do them in the oven, Faye, for a healthier option. Now, if you guys want to fry them, by all means, you can do. But I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the pan. So we're going to bake these off. We're not going to go too crazy with it. I'm also going to be doing some Cajun onion rings, and we're going to do some aubergine rings as well. So we're going to have a little bit of best of both worlds. We're going to have some roasted vegetables, which I'm going to be doing right now with some garlic. I'm going to get some rosemary in there. Maybe a cheeky little bit of honey as well, not too much. And some lemon juice. I'm going to get them roasted off as well. So, whatever you want. And you can have whatever kind of vegetables you want kind of going into this. So it's going to be very rustic, guys. So it's not going to be anything elaborated like, oh my god, what's he going to do with these veggies now? It quite literally is going to be just diced up, whichever. So, yeah, fantastic. Induction for life. Yeah, I mean, if you guys prefer induction, or maybe you guys prefer...
Here is percent of the plane ticket. I guess all little bits can help.
Every little bit helps. It certainly does, Wild Dogs. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Really appreciate the 50 bits. Thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate that ever so much. You're making fries, aka chips. Sounds so good. They're not fries. They are chips, yes. They're going to be steak chips. So we always say over here, either chips or fries. We have our own terminology, and I know you guys in America, you mainly say fries, don't you? And I know for you guys saying chips would be crisps for us. So it gets very complicated, I know. So I hope I kind of haven't lost you on that a little bit there. But yeah, these are going to be steak chips or steak fries. Would you call them steak fries? I'm pretty sure you call them steak fries, something like that. So they're thick cut chips, basically, or fries as you want to call them, whichever you prefer. Onion rings, yeah, we're going to do onion rings, and we're going to do aubergine rings, and we're going to make some Cajun spice to mix through it as well. So yeah, it's going to turn out fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that. Had a little bit of an idea last night, so I really wanted to try it. We're going to make a light batter, and we're going to shallow fry them very lightly. Chips and fries are the same thing. It's slightly depends where you live in. Do you know what I mean? They are slightly in for us over here in the UK. They're totally different. Chips are thick potato cuts. Now fries are very thin cuts, like, well, basically fries. You know, very thin cut potatoes. So we have two terminologies. Now, whether you guys have different terminologies or not is another question, but that is our terminology over here. I love steak fries. Bork Champ, awesome. I'm glad you like them. I know that in the UK, fries are chips and chips are crisps, Chef. I know. No, I know. But it can get very confusing indeed. So our terminology over here is a little bit different. But I'm just letting you know, or anyone else that's not aware. So maybe you do know Maton TV. But whichever person that doesn't, that's why I'm saying it. So maybe some of you do know, but some of you probably don't. Is it Karate Bear? How you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for that follow. How is your wonderful Saturday going? It's lovely to see you. How are things? Are you doing well? Chef, I'm happy I didn't miss you making the steak. I would have been a little upset with myself. That's okay, my friend. I'm glad you're here to make it, and it's lovely to see all of you here today. Yeah, but the British terminology is right. Gaffer face. Oh, Ewan. Never heard of eggplant rings and onion rings. Yeah, I thought it was an idea I had this morning. It wasn't planned. And I had a little thought that came to my head. And I was like, oh, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have a little mixture of onion rings and aubergine rings. So, yeah, with some Cajun spices. So I'm looking forward to doing this. So lots of mushrooms. So these are chestnut mushrooms. Absolutely delicious. You can get whichever kind of mushrooms you want to. It's entirely up to you. Where are we at now? Jeff, is it more enticing to cook when you are hungry or when you are hungry yourself, or is it strictly professional? I guess. Do I cook better if I'm hungry? Is that what you're saying? Not really, I guess. I mean, I've always been kind of quite professional with my cooking, so to speak. I guess hungry or not, I guess I can concentrate better when I'm not hungry, if that makes sense to you. But as a chef, we kind of have a habit, and it's quite a bad habit, to be honest with you. We kind of push through work before we have something to eat. So usually I go like long periods of time without having food. And I think my body's got so used to it that whenever I'm working, I don't get hungry anymore. So when I do stop and I relax, then that hunger just like kind of kicks in. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm really hungry now. So, but yeah, whenever I'm working, for some reason I don't get as hungry as I do, like, chilling out at home and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just because of the career, and we work long periods of time, making sure we get the food done, and then you have a break and stuff. So that's just all to do with chefing industry more than anything. Would you feel terribly intimidated? Is that intimidated? I think you said if I did things akin to what you have, but for a school lunch service. Pitsy, no, not at all. I would not feel intimidated at all. I really do encourage you trying to do like the foods that I do. I know someone in my community's already been doing the foods that I've done, and they posted pictures on Discords. And I'm really, really happy. And they said the family really enjoyed it. They're really enjoying the food. That's fantastic. So yeah, they've even gone through all the VODs, and they've like written down stuff, and they've made it themselves. And you know what? I'm being so happy. I feel like over the moon whenever I see somebody's made my dish and they've been really happy with it, and it's just like, that's amazing. So no, not at all. I would not feel intimidated. Take pictures, share it with me, and say, Chef, I made your dish. And do you know what I mean? I'm so happy. But yeah, no, go for it. Make it. I'll be really, really happy if you guys like remake it. Do you know what I mean? It would be better if I had the recipes, but as I said, I'm still working on the book, still typing things up. So I don't know how long my book will be, but do you know what I mean? As I said, I'm chipping away at it bit by bit. So who knows how long it's going to take, but I'm getting there. Did you see the new Gordon Ramsay documentary, Chef? I watched it this morning and it was really shocking. Oh no, I didn't. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't had a chance to. As I said, I've been quite busy with things, but I will watch it probably maybe on my day off, but I'll probably forget more than likely. But I will get round to it for sure. So right, I've got to keep an eye on these steak chips now. Keep an eye on them very, very, very carefully, and make sure we cook them out, but don't cook them too far to a point where they're going to start falling apart. You want them to hold together very nicely, but you still want to take it to a point where they're a little bit fluffy, but not too much. So you'll see what I mean by fluffy. He's like, what do you mean by fluffy? So when you cook a potato, right, when you shake it in the colander, and those little parts of the potatoes start coming off and they start kind of fluffing. That's what I mean by fluffing once you like cook them. So just in case anyone didn't know for like that terminology, so to speak. Okay, that makes sense. To be better when you are not hungry. Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's kind of what you get used to, really, in the industry. The cocaine one, I think so. Yeah, he did the documentary on that. Did you ever hear about Grandpa's Kitchen? An Indian man cooks daily for 100 orphans. No, I haven't, Wild Dog. Please feel free to share that. I'd love to see it, or if you got a link, I'd like to see. If not, pop it in Discord as well. That'll be amazing. I'll have a look for later. Racking my brain. So why he would do a documentary about cocaine? I think it was just for people to be aware about it. Like, I think probably people are taking it and stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was about awareness of it. So that how shocked he was with like how many people are literally on drugs or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's what it was about. It's because it's rampant in the restaurant industry. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we're not going to lie to you. The chefing industry is very, very high in pressure, very stressful. There's a lot of work, very long hours, so it's not like the easiest thing to do. So a lot of people, you will probably find that also, all right, these are done, so I need to take these off, actually kind of smoke, or maybe they drink a lot, or, you know, even take drugs. Funnily enough for me, I didn't do any of them, and I never smoked. I drink occasionally, but, you know, I wouldn't say to an excess to take out stress levels, but, and I never taken drugs or anything, so I guess I've been quite lucky. A lot of people have said to me, are you actually really a chef because you don't do any of that? I was like, yeah, seriously, I am. So I'm actually one of the few that actually